Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Fluffy is busy chomping on a snack as I'm starting this reading, and I have the new Palladini Tarot on the tarot table. It's one of my very royal tarot decks, and we are in very royal moments at the moment. It is of course the opening of Parliament today. Prince William is busy over in Singapore with the Earthshot Prize. Prince Harry is prancing around in some rather fake looking medals and a poppy. We'll look at that in the next reading. And there's a birthday coming up, quite a big birthday, 75th birthday. I've read on it already, didn't see Harry showing up. But now we hear that there's all kinds of grievances that are emerging in the press. First we heard that Harry had snubbed an invitation to attend, just Harry, and he was not going to be going. He was staying in California. Today we hear, or yesterday, we hear that no, that's not how it went. The Parkles weren't invited. They were snubbed by the king. They had had no contact from the palace. They didn't even know that there was going to be a party until they read about it in the press. And inquiring minds want to know what is going on, because inquiring minds suspect that this is all a pity play, one of those victim narrative things. Drop a story one day, no, not going, and another story the next day, actually wasn't invited. You are lying, didn't invite us because you're mean and nasty and you hate us and you're racist and all the rest of it. So that's where we are today. We're having quite an intense Parkle clapback at the royals as they are busy royaling, very high profile royaling going on. There was the Kenya visit first, now the opening of Parliament and Earthshot, and some temper tantrums seem to be happening in Montecito. Let's have a look and see. I'm going to do a 5-card reading with the new Palladini Tarot and see what's going on here. What's the story? Was Harry invited just on his own? Because some people suspect that the reason for this temper tantrum or this pity play is because only Harry was invited, and so he wasn't allowed to go. Meghan was not invited. So we're going to see. Was Harry invited? Was Meghan invited? Who's behind this story? Is this some sort of clapback because she wasn't invited? We're going to try and figure that out in this short little reading. And what's going on with the royal relationship as a result of this latest outrage. Many people claim it's an outrage, and I myself agree that it's an outrage if it is coming from California, as we suspect, many of us. And let's remind you, it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It is all just speculation, it's all my opinion. I just read energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. And I will be saving for tomorrow a reading on the attempted takedown of the royals, particularly Prince William, and what the royals are going to do to deal with this. It's intolerable at this point, the behavior that they're having to contend with, the level of sabotage, treachery that is coming from Montecito. Is if they are behind this, we're going to look. If they are, as we speculate they are, then what are the royals going to do? But that's a reading for another day. Right now we're just going to try and figure this out, what really happened with this birthday situation. We got juggling card here, 2 of Pentacles as our underlying energy. That's the will they, won't they. That's precisely what we're dealing with here. Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they? The favorite game that the Parkles like to play. And the reason that they like to play it, many speculate, myself included, is that it gives them headlines. One day they're coming, next day no they're not. One day they're on the balcony, next day no they're not. And so it goes. Days and days of interest and newspaper headlines can be teased out of this strategy. And so here we have it again, the 2 of Pentacles. They're trying to milk the situation. It got shut down pretty quickly. No, Harry's not going to be going, and so we can't have the story in there. We need to drag it out a little longer. 2 of Pentacles. So the actual situation with this birthday invite or non-invite, uninvited, they have been uninvited to something. We do remember that. We've got the 9 of Wands, which is barriers. Protective energy around the king. So I would suspect, and when I see that, I see the feather and the cap, and I know whose feather I immediately think of, and I'm sure you're thinking of her too, the Princess Royal fire sign. That would be the 9 of Wands. There's a ring, not of steel, but of feathers and candles around the king on his birthday. He's been very much protected from parkour energy. And a lot of people speculated that if there was going to be any interaction between the king and his second son, certainly not Meghan Markle, then it would be private. It would be one-on-one, just perhaps a lunch or a tea or something, just between the king and Prince Harry, and that's it. Nothing more than that, certainly not welcome to the birthday party. And that 9 of Wands is telling me absolutely true, according to the energy of these cards anyway. Harry and Meghan not welcome at the actual party, the king being very protected by the Princess Royal. I'm going to say that that's what that card means to me as a tarot reader. So let's have a look and see if Harry was formally invited to anything. Even a lunch with Pa. 10 of Wands. That's his energy for me. It's certainly not the king's energy. It's not anyone on the royal side. This is somebody who's got himself into a lot of trouble. A situation that he wants to end. He wants it to be over. He just wants to drop this burden and go back to the good old days. Don't always get that energy from the 10 of Rods. But in this case, I want this all to be over. I want it to go away. I want to be back where I was before all of this went so badly wrong. And that's a very immature way of looking at life. It's a kind of energy you get from people who don't know how to deal with the consequences of their own actions. They don't know how to apologize. They don't know how to stand up and own what they've done. They just want to wish it all away and make it all go away. And please, I was the popular one and you were all just pathetic and desperate. And can we have that again? That's not how life goes. I'm not getting an actual invitation. I'm getting what Lady C says always. He's always welcome. The door will never be closed. He can show up. He's welcome. But if that message was conveyed through Johnny Thompson, I don't know what his rank is now. Got stuck at Major Johnny. And so I know he's not Major Johnny anymore, but you know who I'm talking about. But if message was sent via that kind of mechanism, it's left Harry feeling very unwelcome, very alone, very burdened. So let's see Meghan. Did Meghan get a handwritten invitation to the King's 75th birthday party that someone wrote in calligraphy? The Hanged Man in reverse. The Hanged Man in reverse. If the Hanged Man was upright, I would say absolutely not, because the Hanged Man is someone who's been taken out of circulation, who's been hamstrung, quite literally. Can't move, can't act, can only think and wonder and perhaps regret. But when the card is in the reverse, you can take that as extra energy, or you can say they've been given some wiggle room. They've been cut down a little bit, given a little bit of leeway in a situation. Possibly, what's coming to me with that card is that possibly she was invited, but in such a way as it would have been impossible for her to accept. So no social media, no cell phone, sign an NDA. You get no private time with any of the royals. You're on your best behavior. A word of this and some generous benefit is taken away from you, which is why we have this 9 of Rods there. Princess Royal, I think, was organizing this behind the scenes and made it so that it would be not worth her while to do. And it's that the Hanged Man can have a tremendous sense of victimhood about it. And we're reading on a situation that a lot of people speculate has been set up precisely in that kind of double maneuver that she's quite famous for now. We speculate again that this is her doing. We'll check it in the next card. But something that's been set up to make her look like the victim of this cruel and unwelcoming family. But I think that they have given her some slack. Yes, you can come back briefly for this birthday, but for Harry, it's a situation that he finds untenable. I think he's been put between them, which is also why we have the Two of Pentacles, the juggling. What do I do? What do I do? I think it's more than just Meghan playing this silly game, this press game. It's Harry as well, Harry having to choose. Do I please the wife? Do I please my father? What do I do? Can't deal with it. So perhaps pop an edible something. As people speculate he had done at the Katy Perry concert, and not deal with it, because that's the best way of dealing with things. If you are that level of brat, immature brat, then you don't deal with things, you avoid them. That's my personal take on this situation, given the cards that I'm seeing here and the energy that is coming off these cards. But I think that they put her in a situation where she couldn't get the news, get the value, the gain out of the situation that would have made it worth her while to hop on a private jet and fly back to London. So I think they played a cunning game there. Of course, there's this endless clap back, and as I say, they're going to have to at some stage do something about it. Perhaps they're just winding down the clock until the actual separation happens. Who knows? I'm moving to tomorrow, to readings that I'm planning for tomorrow. So let's stay with today. And let's have a look and see who's behind this story. This double-pronged story. We've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's a little bit of a teamwork thing that's going on there, but it's quiet. Three of Pentacles is collaboration, cooperation. I would say in cahoots, possibly behind the scenes with a journalist, or it's been planted by her agency, something like that. That's teamwork, the Three of Pentacles, but because it's in reverse, either it's some people in cahoots behind the scenes, so we're not supposed to work it out, but of course everyone has, or suspects, speculates. Let's not claim it as actual truth. Let's keep it in the realm of speculation. That's the one feeling that I get from this card. But there's another one, minor one, which is that she's been told not to do this and has done it. Gone against advice from advisors. Gone against what her team tells her to do. But that's a very minor. That's just, I'm saying it because it's come through. But for me, the main energy that has come through in that card is that it is some sort of team effort, collaborative effort, but we're not supposed to work it out. We're not supposed to figure it out. But one thing that has become clear, thanks to this particular royal story with Harry and Meghan, the long story since whenever they met, is that we now see these kinds of tricks for what they are. We're much more wise to these tricks than we were before, which is one of the benefits of following this story so closely, I think. Anyway, let's have a look at the outcome in terms of relations between the royals and the ex-royals in Montecito. Any worsening? We've got the Seven of Rods, everyone on the defensive, everyone feeling like they're being attacked. The royals feeling like here it comes again, another assault in the media, probably speculating paid for, planted by Meghan adjacent people, or even her herself. I think she's careful to keep at arm's length, just enough. And Parkle's also, we're the victims of these attacks. Look at us. We're under constant assault from the royals. They're so mean, they're so cruel. we're just innocent victims of all of this Seven of Rods. We're taking the high road, and I'm not fighting back, and it's this constant barrage of attacks. So going both ways, both feeling hurt, both feeling wounded, both feeling under attack. This is not a happy family. Lots of wands here because it's playing out in the public eye, in the media. It's a PR game that is being played here. Well, it's being played by one side, not the other side. The interesting energy is the Princess Royal energy. I very seldom pick her energy up in these readings unless I specifically read on her for some reason, but she's popped up very strongly here. And Harry's energy there, the Ten of Rods, is a man. There was a famous movie, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, I think. Man on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Ten of Wands. I'm not saying that he's going to have a nervous breakdown. It's just that energy of someone on the brink of total collapse because he cannot deal with all these games and all this politics and back and forth and strategy and stuff. He's not the smartest. I don't think it's his natural impulse to do these kinds of things, and so I think he's just completely overwhelmed and exhausted. I'm not sorry for him. Don't mistake my comments for sympathy. It's not. But they did, I think, put her in a tricky situation where, yes, we let you out of jail for a day, you can come over, but you got to stay in this cell here, gruel and water. We're confiscating all your belongings, and if we see anything or hear anything, then there will be consequences. You will be back on that tree. Very serious consequences, I think, because the Hanged Man is all about punishment. It follows the Justice card in the Major Arcana, which is not something I very often point out, but that's what it does. So it is all about punishment. So there you go. That's the reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll get on with the next one.